Recording. 5-4.
Oh, I always do that.
Creating new behavioral patterns can sometimes take a while, right? And I had to use my planner for something else, my studio planner, so I keep forgetting to pull out the other one. All right, check it out. Ready, set, go. Man, it was an awesome morning this morning. Woke up nice and early, right? 3:20 a.m. Good night rest. Went to bed last night reading. I was reading right before bed. Whenever I read right before bed, I sleep even more soundly. Then it's much better to read before bed than it is to be flipping through social media. I'll tell you that. But got up 3:20 a.m. nice and early. And as I went downstairs, I grabbed my hashtag Rise and Grind planner like I do every day. And as I opened it up, and there's a quote. There's always a quote or a Bible verse at the top of every page of the hashtag Rise and Grind planner. And I read the one today, and the quote says this. It says, "I am the Lord's servant. May it be unto me according to your will." And this was submitted by Mitzi Ann Barrett. And I just want to say thank you to Mitzi Ann. You know, sometimes that word servant can seem so negative, right? Like it can seem less than, like a sheep, like a follower, right? And so sometimes I think in our society today, especially here in America, a capitalistic society, you know, sometimes this idea of being a follower can be frowned upon at such an intense level. Everyone wants to be a leader. You got to be the alpha. You got to be out front, right? But when I read this, "I am the Lord's servant. May it be unto me according to your will," I thought, man, there's so much peace in that. There's so much peace in knowing and taking a moment to just step back and say, yeah. There's things we want to take the lead on. I'm a great leader. I'm a great entrepreneur. I'm a great businessman. I'm a great event planner, thrower guy, not a planner, but a thrower. I surround myself by great planners, right? I'm all of those things. But what I want to be best, is I want to be a servant. I want to be servant to the God of the universe, the God that made everything, the God that made me, because I know the plans that he has for me are so much greater than any plans that I can make, right? So I just want you to ponder on that for just a second, and let's dive into today's episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. Good morning. How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning. How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Dude, I got to tell you, it's Tuesday, and I am still having a little bit of the big city blues after leaving New York City, man. Spending 6 days in New York City, I'm just telling you, there's something about it, right? You just gotta, you bring a little piece of that home with you. It's just such an electric place, and so I still got a little bit of that in me as we slow down just a little bit over here in the state of Kentucky. But it was amazing being out there for the first ever Breakfast with Champions Consortium, and it was just amazing, right? There's something about the city. There's something about the lights. There's something about the history in the city. There's something about the energy in the city. There's just nothing like it, right? There's nothing like it. But even more impactful than the energy of the city itself was the people that I had the pleasure of working and spending time with while I was out there, right? Like Barbara Majeski, Brian Benstock, Tamara Andress, right? I got to spend some time with them, which was amazing. They're all amazing superhumans and just beautiful people in so many ways. And then, you know, Scott Simons, my man Scott Simons was out there, and him and I were cracking up during the fashion show because it was just so incredible. Like we both of us just kept looking at each other. Each person would come down the lane, and we would just be like, this is unbelievable, right? So I got to spend some time with those people, my people, like Brian from the auto industry and Scott's from the auto industry. So spending some time with them was amazing, and they're just beautiful humans. And then add on to that, you had all of the consortium like speakers, right? All the different consortium speakers. I think there was 23 of them all together, or something like that. And they just absolutely blew me away, dropping bombs all week long, right? Now, add to that, we had a little Central Park run. That was amazing, right? We had a little Central Park run. We had a celebrity trainer work them out, not me, work them out one day. So you add that in there, and there was a big fancy party over at Amelia Antonetti's house that was pretty amazing, and it just truly overall was a magical experience altogether, right? And that's cool and all, but really, that doesn't add much value to your world, does it? So what I thought I'd do today and tomorrow is I'm going to share with you what I learned during this experience. Because that's the real question, right? That's the real question. Glenn, I'm glad you got to party. I'm glad you got to see some people. We like seeing your little slideshow. That's cool. But what's in it for me? Like how can you add value to my world, right? And that's a valid question, by the way. Just so you know, that's totally a valid question. You are welcome to ask that question at any given time. Be like, well, hey, hey, yo, I'm over here. Can I steal some of that? Can I experience some of that? Can I gain some wisdom from that? Glenn, can you share something with me? Can you teach me something? Like, come on, baby. I'm trying to get better. So that's totally an okay question. I'm going to answer that question for you. What did I learn in New York City last week? That's the real question. And today I'm going to tell you, but before we go too far, y'all know what we got to do on this show. So we got to get rock and rolling. We got to get some people up in here. Let's go. Man, that mic, I just realized, was super loud over on Clubhouse. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button, right? I need you to hit that share button. Because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. So if you're on Facebook, share it out. Instagram, share it out. Those of you on Clubhouse, take some time right now while we're listening to this music, hit the plus sign and just invite some of your friends, your family members, people you like, people you don't like, invite them into the room. You could be the catalyst for change for that human being moving forward. Change the way you start your day. It changes everything. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Fair enough? Fair enough. I see my folks over here on Instagram. I see E-Wellness Today. How you doing, E-Wellness Today? I see Fab Realtor. What's up, Fab Realtor? Great to see you. I see Sherry Landris. Great to see you, Sherry Landris. You don't see the room on Clubhouse? YSL Phillip? That's interesting. It's there. What's up, dude? I see you, Fanzo. Great to see you. How you doing, Alloy Artist? I always love the Instagram names. I love it. N8 Wolves over on Instagram. Great to see you. And then who do we got over here on Clubhouse right now? We've got Tony. Just got here. I'm going to go down. I see some people. I like saying hi to a lot of y'all, but there's some of y'all I ain't said hi to in a long time. So I want to say hi to Priya and Levi and Ahmed. What's up, Troy and Anjara? How you doing, Alejandro and Alexis? What's up, Cheryl and K-Pill? How you doing, Giovanni and Lake Shaw? Great to see you. What's up, Scott and Sandra and Armand and Helen? How you doing, Helder and Jordan and Chef Pam and Sloan? What's up, Beth and Faith? Simone, great to see you. How you doing, Matt and Nissa and Betty and Carrie and Blue and Sarah and Jacob and Rochelle? We've got Rashida's up in here, and Frank and Tasha and Robin and Debbie. My goodness, Pat up in here. I love it over on Clubhouse. And then my Facebook friends, I can't even see you yet, so hold on, I gotta pull y'all up. I know you're there though, because I can always count on my Facebook piece. That's a fact. So let me pop in here real quick to see what y'all are doing over on Facebook. While I'm doing that, I want to let you all know that Breakfast with Champions is now a podcast, and you can download it anywhere that you download podcasts. It's up there, all right? Anywhere you download podcasts. So if you ever miss a moment of Breakfast with Champions, just know that you can go back. You can check it out there. So please do me a huge favor if you would. Check that out. Give it a download. Give us a review if you like the content that we're dropping. That's always incredibly helpful. And of course, subscribe so you don't ever miss an episode of Breakfast with Champions. I see my man Don Sankey's up in here. What's up, Sean Weatherby? I see Lady Bird is in the house. I see Miss Whitney Wells is up in here. How you doing, Brad Smith? Great to see you as well. I see Janice Mullins and Tony Thorstad. What's up, Debbie Dowling? How you doing, Tina Kelly Overfelt? We've got Regina Carey's in the house. We've got who else? There it is. Beverly Richardson. I got Wendy Reeves. We've got Move Bikes on Instagram. I love it. DJ Mike Faresh. We've got Mazan79. All right, you guys ready? The lessons I learned in New York City so that I can give them to you so you can take them and apply them into your life. That's what we're going to do today on hashtag Rise and Grind. You ready? You ready? You ready? Let's go. Man, Brandon chose some I won't say soft music. That ain't soft music. I mean, he just is, it's just interesting, his music choice. He's normally like, and that's like a more like, that's got like that class. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. All right, cool. Let's talk about this, all right? Because I want to share some stuff with you guys today. So the whole thing in New York City, it started with a VIP party on Wednesday night, but Thursday started with a run over in Central Park. So Central Park is a beautiful place. If you've never been there, just incredible views all the way around. It's like it's got multiple tracks depending on which ways you want to go around it. It's like a 6-mile track if you run on the road, 3-mile if you run on the inside, so on and so forth, right? And so it's just this big, beautiful place that's 100% designed for people. Like, it's got roads, but you can't drive cars on the roads. The roads are for bicycles, people rollerblading, stuff like that. And then it's got dirt paths if you want to run on the dirt. It's got paths right around the water. Like I've never been to Central Park, so it was really a beautiful experience. And there were thousands of people that were there, and there were about 15 or 20 of us that came out for a run. We decided we were going to go run with Brian Benstock. He kind of hosted the whole thing, led the charge on that, and we did. We met up and we ran just over 3 miles, 3.5 miles, I think it was. And we laughed and we talked and we bonded, and it was really, really special. It was really special. But the highlight and the lesson that was learned while we were out there at Central Park, that's what I'm going to give to you. Getting there was a little bit of an experience. So Central Park was a few miles away. We only had so much time. So there were Ubers involved. There were other cars involved. We had to break the pack up into different segments and sections. And it was incredibly fun just watching the people experience getting to Central Park. Just getting there. Like our man Core Element, he somehow ended up in Brooklyn. I don't even really know or understand how that happened. I guess he put in there's similar addresses in Brooklyn and Queens and so on and so forth. And so Core Element ended up in Brooklyn. We didn't see him till the very end of the run. But here's what was funny. Even though he ended up in Brooklyn and he ended up in Ubers for all this time and he kind of missed out on the whole experience with us at Central Park, when he did show up, he was smiling ear to ear and he was filled with joy. And so even though everything had gone astray, right, like you would think he'd have every right to be frustrated. He missed out on the run. He missed out on the opportunity. He was driving around in an Uber. He ended up in Brooklyn. But no, dude, the dude showed up and was smiling ear to ear, filled with joy. And I really took from that. I'm like, man, no matter what's going on out in the world, and I know Core Element's story. I know where he comes from, and I know why he is grateful to be lost in New York City. He's far more grateful to be lost in New York City than to be where he was 6 months ago, right? Makes a big difference. Leading with joy in all situations will make a massive, massive impact in your life. Now, we also had our friends Tamara and Tony, and I believe there was somebody else that was in the car with them. Tamara and Tony, their Uber dropped them off a couple miles from the pickup spot. And so they were like looked and they were like 17. It was going to be 17 minutes for them to jump in and, to get another Uber, to get the Uber to bring them to the spot. We're like, where are y'all at? And they were at some other spot. And so they were like, all right, we're going to take another Uber. We'll be down there in 17 minutes. And we're like, okay, no problem. We'll wait for you guys. And then like 15 minutes later, all of a sudden they come running up, dude, like covered in sweat. They were like, we said, forget the Uber. We're just going to break it run. It'll be faster. And so they ran an extra like mile and a half on top of what everybody else was doing to get to the spot. And I just love the grit of that, right? Like, dude, we got dropped off in the wrong spot. You know what that means? That means we get to go an extra mile and a half. Not, oh my gosh, we have to go an extra mile and a half. No, they were like, we get to go an extra mile and a half, and they leaned in on that, and I just thought it was fabulous. Zero frustration, right? Zero frustration, just ear to ear. We're in it. We're going to do whatever it takes, and I love that type of grit. I really, really do. I think we can all learn from that type of grit. Sometimes life's going to throw you some curveballs, dude. You just got to do whatever it takes to make it happen. You feel me? And then there was another thing that I watched. So our man Scott Simons, he's super competitive all the time, and he was out there and he was ready to go out there and do this run with us. He's a CrossFit dude and all that stuff, right? And Megan DiMartino was there, and Megan DiMartino was going to walk, not run, right? I believe Megan's in her early 60s, I think, and maybe a little bit older, but she was going to walk, not run. And Scott, there was no one else that was walking, not running. And Scott did not want her to walk by herself. So Scott put down his plan, his 4-mile run plan, so that he could walk with Megan DiMartino and keep her company. And I just thought, bro, that's what it's all about right there, right? Sometimes you got to throw out your plan to do the right thing for someone else. Altogether, it truly was a beautiful morning. It had its curveballs, of course, but everybody had set their intentions with a grateful heart. And in doing so, we found beauty in every situation. There was beauty found in every situation that morning. And then we show up at the event, right? We show up over the event, and the event kicked off with an incredible breakfast by this guy, John Palacastro from Personal Touch Catering. If you're in New York City, you want to use this dude right here from Personal Touch Catering, John Palacastro. You want to use him because this dude jumped in when we were 2 days out from the event. 2 days out from the event, still didn't have our meals completely sponsored or put together yet. This dude jumped in with overwhelming generosity. This dude jumped in and he brought his family in. They brought the best food, the best breakfast, the best lunch, the best service, and they donated it to our event. And he said to me, "Hey, Glenn, Breakfast with Champions has made a massive impact in my life. I can't thank you enough. I want to do this for you guys." And dude, I'm telling you, it was over the top. Overwhelming generosity. What's the lesson? A, you should be overwhelmingly generous so that people will shout you out like I am him right now. The other lesson is when you serve people, it comes back around and people will serve you. When you're up against the wall, when you're up against the ropes, you never know. You never know who's watching, and you never know who's going to be the one that's going to be there to lift you up and carry you through. So you need to be on all the time. It was amazing. Thank you, John. You're an amazing human being. So we kicked off with some breakfast, and then Amelia Antonetti kicked us off as one of our speakers. And this is after she had already took me out to the Met Stadium the night before, got me on the field during the national anthem, which was incredible, right? So Amelia Antonetti, this powerful woman, she kicks us off, and she breaks down like all the different all the different types of personality types and the different indicators, and she teaches us literally how to lean into our genius. How instead of struggling and fighting and trying to be something we're not, to ultimately just lean into the genius that is uniquely you. And to do it with a grateful and a generous heart. I haven't met anyone more generous than Amelia Antonetti. She tore apart her house, threw this huge party, had these tents up, had all these different areas, had a ridiculous amount of food. She did all of these incredibly special things just to celebrate Breakfast with Champions, to celebrate me, right? She took me to the Mets thing. She's flown to my house. She's played with my kids. She's never asked me for anything. This woman has never asked me for anything. She's literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars serving me and never asked for a thing. And so the lesson I learned most from Amelia is lead with a generous heart and make sure you stay in your genius. Then came Molly Dare. So Molly Dare popped up, and in case anybody didn't know, it was Molly Dare's birthday. It was Molly's birthday at the event. She had this amazing birthday cake, and we all celebrated her birthday. Darian Sanders sang to her. Like, it was phenomenal. And Molly came up and she spoke, and she shared a powerful story of resilience. She shared a story of her ability to fight back and to never give up. Like, this woman, Molly, is a real life superhero in so many ways. And it was just such an honor to be in her presence. It was an honor to be energized by her. And that was the real big takeaway, man. This idea of resilience. And it goes back to what we were talking about at Central Park, right? Like, things are going to happen to you in your life. We all have a story. When you look at Molly and you look at her social media, you see her smiling, you see the life she's living now, you see her, momming it up and businessing it up and doing all the amazing things. But she has an incredibly difficult path that she had to walk to get to where she is right now. But her resilience is what has carried her through. And her resilience is what will carry you through as well. Learn to bounce back. Then my man Ramon Ray came up in the place. And Ramon Ray is loud. He's vivacious. He's amazing. He was one of our sponsors as well. He was an incredible supporter. And Ramon came up on the stage and I was like, okay, Ramon's got the spotlight. Ramon is about to take this spotlight and wear it out because that's how he is. And all of a sudden, Ramon said, you know what? We got all these people in this room. I'm going to take my section, my segment right here, and I want to hand it to somebody else. And he brought up this woman and he said, hey, we got all these people in the room. What do you need? What do you need? How can we help you? What do you need? Here, you're in the room. Can you help? Can you help? And he started putting all the pieces together to help elevate this human. And I just thought, what a humble servant that dude is right there. To be able to take his spotlight and point it on someone else to make their lives better. It was absolutely phenomenal. And he proved in that moment that together we can move so much further, so much faster. Now I'm running low on time and I want to make sure to get to everybody. And so I'm gonna pop through these a little bit faster. Donna Bowling spoke on day one and she shared her genius in such an authentic and jovial way. And I got to tell you, this girl, Donna Bowling, she's the second from the left. That's Molly and then Donna, and then you got Dominique in this picture right here. The girl is ridiculously hilarious. And what she reminded through her talk, yes, she's skilled. Yes, she's brilliant. Yes, she's done all kinds of incredible things with her life, from casting and just all kinds of stuff. She's an amazing human. But mostly, and here's what's interesting when you're at events like this, it's not always what people say that sticks, it's how they make you feel, right? And Donna was just a reminder to me, and I think to all of us, like, don't take all this stuff too seriously. Inject a little humor into everything that you do, and you literally can light up the world. This woman lights up every room she's in, because she leads with a laugh. And I found that really, really powerful. Then came Dominique. And Dominique was Mrs. Virginia. I'd always known that about her. What I didn't know is the woman is absolutely stunning. She walks in the room and you're just like, what? I didn't know human beings could be that stunning. She is beautiful, and has nothing to do with who she is on the outside. It has everything to do with who she is on the inside. Who she is on the inside radiates on the outside. This woman is beautiful. And she shared her career, and ultimately she shared a story of excellence. What I took away from Dominique is that average is not going to cut it. Being an average version of yourself is not going to get you there. Being a below average or even a little bit above average version of yourself is not going to get you there. You must strive for excellence in all that you do and have the discipline to do what it takes if you want to live that lifestyle that very few have the opportunity to live. Demand excellence and work to achieve it. That's how I would describe Dominique. Demand excellence and work to achieve it. Then this dude, Brad Caldwell, jumped up there. I don't know if you know this dude. But Brad jumped up there. Nobody really knew what to expect. And this dude dropped it. He dropped it. He came up there and he talked about POV and ROI and IVC. If you don't know exactly what those things are, he talked about the point of view. He talked about your return on investment and how important it is to get your ideal client and make sure you understand your target audience, right? But mostly what Brad taught us is that when you can deliver a succinct message, in 8 minutes, this dude dropped the freaking mic on the room. He dropped the mic on the room in 8 minutes. When you can deliver a succinct message that's valuable, you can make a lasting impact. Everybody was like, yup, that dude right there is a G. It was incredible. Then you had Carmelia, right? Carmelia talked to us, and she talked to us about how to get like seen, right? How to get awareness, how to get found, how to get into the press, how to get the eyeballs of the news and the media, and how important it is to be writing blog posts, and how important it is to get on that Google page one. But really, the way Carmelia made us feel is she made us feel like all of us have it in us to be a star. All of us have it in us to be a star. You just have to understand who you are, step into authentically who you are. Carmelia walked in the fashion show. She was wearing a swimsuit, and she's like, I'm representing. I'm repping it. What'd she say? I'm representing 50-year-old women around the world, I believe is what she said. Just step into who you are, and you too can be a star. Then we had Emily Leahy, Leahy, and Emily led a meditation. She actually got this entire room of high performers to sit down, shut up, and meditate, and went through a whole 10-minute, like an 8-minute meditation, feeling every aspect of where we are and getting really incredibly present. And it was powerful because Emily teaches us how to avoid burnout through restorative moments, right? How to avoid burnout by taking that time. How important it is to add to our routine time to sit still and to be present. And as I looked around the room, as everybody was sitting in this meditative kind of state, I just thought, yeah, we need more of that. We need more of that where we just sit, right? When's the last time you just sat still in your thoughts? Not about thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, but just being present. And the importance of that, it was powerful. And then, of course, there was the one and only Susie. My girl Susie talked about embracing conflict. Not avoiding conflict, embracing conflict. And she talked about the strength and the muscles that you can build as a leader when you start to really lean in on this idea that conflict is actually designed and something that you need in order to grow and connect with others. This woman is a powerhouse. This woman is a beast. This woman is someone that I will be connecting with and doing business with in the future because she flipped it on my head, right? Like, I understand change, struggle, grow, succeed. I totally understand the struggle is important and necessary, but I'm usually a conflict avoider. Right? Like, to be kind is to be clear if I have to, but I'd rather not. And she helped me to see that conflicts are really the stepping stones to stronger relationships. Conflict is really the stepping stone to a stronger business. So conflict is really a stepping stone to creating better client relations, better relations in your families, all of those things. The conflict is how we grow together. It was really, really powerful. So altogether, day one was action-packed and filled with memorable moments, including the 15 minutes where we all stood around the pool at Amelia's party, and she played this video. And this video that she played was a bunch of thank yous and congratulations to me and to Breakfast with Champions from people I really know, love, and adore, right? Like Tim Story was in the video. David Meltzer was in the video. Brielle was in the video. Right? Grant Cardone was in the video. Lisa Copeland was in the video, and a bunch of others. And they were all saying, congratulations, Glenn. Congratulations, Breakfast Champions. And in that moment, as I had tears in my eyes, I looked around the room and I thought, to think, one guy listened to God's call on his life, and he went live 4 years ago with this morning show called #RiseAndGrind. And that one decision has literally changed the world. One decision, friends. That's all it takes. You're one decision away from changing the trajectory of your life. Can you believe that? One decision. So listen, I believe that you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. That's what I believe. And I believe that God wants you and I to live a life of joy and abundance, and a life of leaning in to becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. And I believe he's given us this challenge so that ultimately when we grow and elevate, we can impact others. You have a born on date, you have an expiration date. The dash in the middle, that little dash in the middle, is all about impact, right? And so I'm going to challenge you to make a decision today. It's one decision. That's all it takes. Well, you're one decision away. Make a decision today to continue to strive to become the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. If you'll do it, I'll do it. And if you and I do it, maybe some other people will do it. And all together, we can make the world a better place. Fair enough? Fair enough. Listen, I love you. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. I want to say I'm sorry for going over on time again, but you know what? Forget that. Forget that. I'm not sorry. I'm grateful that you chose to spend this time in this space with me. It means the world to me. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. here on #RiseAndGrind. Until then, if you want to come hang out with us over on Clubhouse, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, you can go listen to the podcast of Breakfast with Champions if you want. You can connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want to do. Let's just stay connected. All right? All right. Have an incredible day. Love ya. See ya. Boom, boom, boom.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. #RiseAndGrind, #RiseAndGrind.